Hi all, just a quick video today, actually based on a card that I've just shook for myself, because I think it's quite poignant for many people today, especially those that are, well, I say those that are on this spiritual journey, but we're all on this spiritual journey, so really it means something to everybody. So this card that I've got this morning it says on the front of it, I don't know if you can see it because it's a bit light, it says going beyond. But on the back of it, it says the spiritual journey is one of constant transformation. To grow, you must give up the struggle to remain the same and learn to embrace change at all times. Now this morning I wrote some affirmations in my journal. Actually, there's many things in this journal, and some of the things I'm going to put in a book. I've just got to get round to typing it onto a laptop and saving it. But it kind of ties in the affirmations that I wrote this morning. That was after I'd actually done a meditation, not my own meditation, but someone else's meditation. And the music at the end, which I have no idea what it's called, was just absolutely awesome, and I felt that real connection in myself on a real deep soul level. And the realization that I kind of, was that my soul speaking? I don't know, but the realization of what was coming up for me was how much of myself I give away to life, and how often do I feel drained. And this is not about people, by the way, this is about life itself. This is about the way that I think, and this is very much about the way we all think, because just because I do the work that I do doesn't mean to say I don't have issues. Doesn't mean to say that I don't. Well, I'm going to take that. I'll retract that about don't have issues, because with myself, I don't have issues. With the way I perceive things, I do have issues sometimes. But I'm very good at talking to myself. I'm very good at answering my own questions and trying to find my own solutions. Sometimes, yeah, I have to reach out, but most of the time I come to my own conclusions, even if it means that I shake a card and I pull a card and I get the answer through my cards. But yeah, so this card was very much connected with the affirmations that I'd made this morning. I'm just going to read these affirmations again that just came in my head. Today I release all blocks that have held me within the constraints of my old self. I am ready to begin a new way of seeing things. I am ready to be ready to be ready. I am divine. Now, I'm going to break it down one by one. So the first one, today. This is how you do affirmations. Today, you have to make it present. You have to say it as it's happening now. Not, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it next week or the week after. It has to be present. Today, I release all blocks. What are those blocks? Most of those blocks come from your mind, come from that little, I always call it a gremlin sitting on your shoulder that keeps whispering in your ear and saying, oh, you've got to remember this, you have to remember this, you know, don't forget. And those are the blocks that we keep carrying and we keep breathing life back into. And yeah, sometimes it's difficult to stop that from happening. So there's two ways we can do it. The first way we can do it is to embrace it. Now that sounds a bit contradictory to what you'd think, but the thing is, if we keep running from every thought that we have, every word that pops up in our heads, it just keeps coming round over and over again. If you embrace it, in other words, if you turn around and face it, and you face it like that warrior that you are, that says, no, I'm not going to accept this thought. Then, when you keep doing it over and over and over again, eventually you begin to believe it. So this affirmation was, today I release all blocks that have held me within the constraints of my old self. So the old self, the old version, is the version of you that had those experiences. But remember, every time we wake up, we have the opportunity to be a new person. So every time we wake up, we're regenerating, basically. So, as I say, every time we wake up, we have the opportunity to create a new day. And as we create that new day, we create a new vibration within ourselves that then changes whatever happened the day before or the day before that. Now, sometimes we wake up and we feel this way, and this negative feeling coming on, because somewhere within us we are still carrying that vibration from the past. So it's just that gremlin that's coming up and trying to bite you back on the bottom again and say, you know, remember me, I haven't gone. But every time we run, every time we start to run away from it, it keeps chasing us. But when we turn round and we stand up and face that fear, eventually it doesn't have any power over us anymore. So the second affirmation that I wrote was, I am ready to begin a new way of seeing things. So if we've got something going off that keeps coming back and biting us in the bum, then maybe we just keep seeing it from the same perspective. And maybe we need to sit and think about what it really means. Why is it coming up? Now, we're going through Mercury retrograde again, and being a full moon on Friday, it's a full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is actually my star sign, and Scorpios are a water sign, which means that you are governed by your emotions, and boy, don't I know it. Thinking too much, feeling too much. So when we have the opportunity to see things differently, in other words, when we're able to see that through this Mercury retrograde we are being guided, reversed, because it's going backwards, to a memory of a situation, to observe whether we really did do the work, whether we really did let it go, or whether we've kept pulling it back towards us, whether we've kept dragging it back into our present, and that in turn is creating our future. So this affirmation is saying, I am ready to begin a new way of seeing things. When we are able to sit there and say, you know what, why is this happening? And then waiting for the answer, waiting for that information to come through, that knowledge that you've got, that wisdom that you've got inside, rather than saying, I can't see it, I can't understand it, I don't understand it. And we keep going round and round in our heads because we don't stop talking. We don't stop allowing that gremlin to keep saying the same things to us. So we don't give ourselves an opportunity to really, really listen. What is the reason why it's been shown to me again? There's things that's happened for me over the weekend that got me thinking, and obviously going through Mercury retrograde got me to understand that I was being pulled backwards into revisiting some experiences that have been in my past. And even if that revisiting was just thinking about it, then we still have to do it. You know, it is something that is coming up in us that's saying you need to address this, you need to look at it again and look at it from a different perspective. So that's what I try to do. Believe me, I don't always get it right. None of us are perfect, you know, but we just have to try our best and don't beat ourselves up if we get it wrong, you know, because what is wrong? You know, wrong is not wrong. Wrong is just another opportunity to try again and attempt it again. And you know what? Even if we have to do it 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times, there's no reason why you can't. There's no reason why you can't keep doing it. And even when you get those words that say, yes, but why is this happening again? Why do I have to go through it again? Stop running away from it. Turn round and face it. Face it with gusto. Face it with courage. Accept what was and be ready for what is. And that comes on to the last affirmation, which I actually pinched from Abraham Hicks. I am ready to be ready to be ready. In other words, I am ready now to be ready for whatever's going to come, so that I'm ready to enjoy it and face it no matter what. I am divine. Yes, we all are divine. And divine doesn't mean that you're being arrogant or you're trying to say that you're better than anyone else. What you're saying is that I recognize the divinity in me. I recognize that soul self. I recognize that that soul part of me is doing this journey with me, guiding me, trying to support me, trying to show me the way. But when we get out of our head and back into our heart, then we allow our soul to take the steering wheel for a little while and start to guide us back down a better path, something that works more in harmony with us rather than out of harmony with us. So going back to this card now, just before I finish, the spiritual journey is one of constant transformation. Yes, it is. We are constantly transforming every single day, every single moment, every single minute. And even if there are things that's happened in your past and, you know, there are things that you've done, you've said, you know, and you regret it, you know, remember that these things happened at that time because that was how it was. It doesn't mean you are that person. It doesn't mean that, you know, you are stuck in that past unless you want to keep being stuck in that past. And when I say you want to keep, what I mean is sometimes you don't know a way out, and that's why you get support, but most of the support is actually within yourself. So don't hold on to your past. Just let it flow like that river. Let the ebbs and flows, and remember that a situation that may not have worked out for you in the past may well work out for you in the future, because somewhere along the line you were all learning something about yourself. We're all put in each other's paths for reasons, and most of those reasons are to see or learn lessons, to experience things and learn lessons, and that's how we expand and grow. The last bit of the card says, to grow you must give up the struggle to remain the same. So yeah, you must give up the struggle to remain the same. You can't be that same person and expect a better result. You have to let go of the old self. But you have to do it with love and thank that old self, because that old self is the bit of you that got you to where you are now. of having those feelings of wanting to change. So thank it and let it go. And learn to embrace change at all times. Yeah, learn to embrace the change. Even when it's frightening, even when you're so far out of your comfort zone that you're thinking, I can't do this. Believe me, I've had many moments like that. But you got to keep going. You got to keep talking to yourself. Don't berate yourself about your past. Don't judge yourself for things that you could have done better, you should have done better. If you'd known different, just accept what is and let it go. And remember, there is always an opportunity for change. There's always an opportunity for each of us to change and to become the best version of ourselves when we want to put in the work. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Not sure whether I'll be doing a live tomorrow. I might try to do one in the afternoon, but please, if I don't, please understand I'm going to a funeral in the morning. So yeah, maybe I'll have something to say about life and death. We'll see. Take care. Bye.